right, listen up. You do not need a single headphone. You don't need a single electronic. Your mama doesn't need to call you. You can bring a pen and paper, but I'm not even expecting that. You just gotta come with a sense of curiosity. We are out front, bus 6. Let's go see where the white folks live. All right, in 1950, St. Louis's population, the city, was 800,000 people. What's it today? 300,000 today. Where in the world did those 500,000 people go? All right, so 20 South 9th is the first piece of property. Knowledge is power, for sure. And the better character students have, and the more knowledge they have to use that character, the better their lives are going to be, and in the end, the better all of our lives are together. 1 year ago, I was reading a Soulard newspaper, and I found this article on a guy named Mr. Bill. And when he started talking about his life story, I thought, oh my God, that's exactly what happened to the city. What neighborhood did Mr. Bill grow up in? Soulard. Whatever the course content is, it's imperative to take that content, have them know it in a very real, serious, and deep way that they can then use in their normal lives. If you go on Russell right up the street, it's a middle school now. It used to be a high school. Got it? Bill is going to tell us what his life was like living here in the 1940s and the 1950s. If you want to buy shoes in Soulard, you can't. If you want to go to the hardware store in Soulard, you can't. Read it. And as you read, think, what did this neighborhood look like back then? Go. Where are the kids? Okay, all right, it's, what is it, Wednesday morning? So they're in school, right? There's no kids here. Where did the kids go? They followed Mr. Bill. This neighborhood was so great in the 1940s and 50s. Where does Bill live now? South County, let's go see it. Come on.
Let's go find Bill.
Who was living in this neighborhood in 1884? You remember last semester? Germans, that's right. White folks moved in from Germany, came into this neighborhood, and they lived here all the way until Bill, 1950. Got it? When did the houses stop being 1890s houses?
This is U.S. history we're doing. On a field trip, visiting the suburbs.
Mr. Malone, he's cool.
Never had no year bun.
Like,
you ain't never lived on
he make you think a lot when you learning.
What is the most important thing that America has ever built?
Apartments.
Not a chance.
Highways.
The interstate highway system.
He has a unique way of teaching.
He teaches like a commercial, like the Coke bottle commercials with the bird, with the polar bear. How it make you never want to forget.
Soulard's got nothing but bars now. It's just a bunch of white people come down here and drinking for fun. Bill, he's going to work at Budweiser every day. He doesn't care if it's a 10-minute walk or a 10-minute drive. So he buys a house out here. What color's Bill? That boy's a white kid. You know what was happening in the 1940s, 1950s? Your great-grandparents are moving from the South to the city. Think about it. Are white folks excited about buying a house next to a black family? You know what they call this phenomena? You gotta know this word. All right, it's called white flight. I don't know Bill. I guarantee if we met him, he lives in a house just like this. What's the advantage of living out here?
Bigger house.
Bigger house? More room? Check this out. This is where you put your basketball goal on the front of the garage and you get to shoot in the driveway, right? This is what the suburbs are. What happens to the cities because of white flight? Population decreased from 800,000 to 300,000, right? Where'd all the people go?
County.
You're looking at it. This is where they live. This is why in your neighborhood in the city, if there's 3 houses, only one's got people in them, right? House vacant, house vacant, house vacant. What kind of people left? People with money or people without money? So what happened to the money in the city? It is called urban decay. Some people call St. Louis the Rust Belt because our cities now are rotten in the core. The money left, the people left, and now they live on the edge of the cities, and they only come into the city for Cardinals games. Deshaun, go ahead.
You know, you said like most of the white people are moving out here.
That's right.
Now, how come like some financially stable black people are
The
moving
last
out here
30,
too?
you know what they call it? Black flight. Hazelwood and Florissant in the 1950s were 99% Melville suburbs. Now what? Black folks have been moving from North City to North County for the last 20 years. And what has happened to the demographic makeups of Hazelwood East, Central, and West, right? They're what, 60, 70% black now? Got it? So Deshaun, you're absolutely right. As middle-class black families like Mr. Anderson got rich, they moved out too. It's not all racial. Much of it has to do with money, much of it just has to do with opportunity. You can't blame people for making decisions that are good for their families. Which schools would you like your kids to go to? Clayton High School or Beaumont?
Clayton.
See, it's an easy choice, isn't it? You got a chance to send them to Clayton, you're going to send them to Clayton, right? So these people are not all racist. We're just making choices that we think are best for us. So the consequences of what I'm talking about are still real to you and me. We live in it, right? This is where you live.
Today, we learned that the interstate made people move out.
Yeah.
Got you a better job and cost of living went down.
A lot of my friends from when I was little moved out here, like their families. Like I understand why they moved now.
Field trips like this, you know, students need a break sometimes, and he find a good way to do that and still learn at the same time.
If you sit there for at least an hour and 30 minutes, you will come out with more than what you came in with. Like Ms. Malone is the best teacher, the best teacher.
Okay, what are we doing here at Live for Life?
Learning.
We're trying to fix all the problems that we just talked about, right? That's the way we do it.